What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it's been about a year and a half since I graduated college and encountered the age-old question of what do you want to do? And naturally I had no idea what I was doing, but one of the things that I did start doing was researching life in other cities. So what I did was start looking at YouTube videos and watch how other people spend their money. And that's kind of when my personal finance journey kind of took off. So now it's been about a year since I started learning more about personal finance, and I feel like I'm in a much better position when it comes to knowing how to spend, invest, and save money. So in this video, I wanted to share some tips that I've learned over the past year. Now, by no means do I consider myself an expert in this field, so please do your own research before you really take any advice. And this is just my experience and the consensus that I've gathered through investigating different resources and just seeing what different financial advisors, YouTubers, and etc. have to say about money. So without further ado, I'm going to share 5 tips. The first thing I wish I knew about money is that student loans suck. So I have no idea whose idea it was to allow literal children, 17 or 18-year-olds, to take out tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt just so they can go to a 4-year university and come out with a salary that pays a fraction of what they owe. It's crazy. And as an 18-year-old, I had no idea what the consequences would have been if I had chosen to take out student loans. Now, thankfully, I'm very privileged and my family has allowed me to attend a 4-year university without any student loans. But unfortunately, millions of Americans out there today are not as lucky. So my advice to those who are thinking about college and may not have the financial resources to attend college, I would ask that you do your research and definitely assess whether or not the money that you would be taking out for student loans is worth it, because that stuff can really just haunt you for the next at least 5 to 10 years even after you graduate school. Like, I heard of people who are still in their 30s, maybe 40s, that are still trying to pay off their student loans, and I honestly just can't imagine having that mental weight on you for such a long time. This doesn't apply only to student loan debt, but also credit card debt. Now, when it comes to credit cards, it's very easy to not notice the amount of money that you are actually spending at a store. And because the interest rates on credit cards are so high, it's so easy to spend money that you don't have and have the money amount that you owe just multiply at an alarming rate. So I would be very careful about the debt that you take on and make sure that the debt that you do have is helping you build wealth. An example of good debt would be when you're paying for a property and you take out a loan for that. But student loans, credit card loans, maybe even car loans, I would say try to stay away from as much as you can, and that'll help your financial situation significantly. Number 2 is investing isn't inherently a sexy thing. When people think of investing, they like to think of Wolf of Wall Street, day trading, investing in Dogecoin, Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency that's extremely volatile right now. Investing in stuff like that is just a very emotional experience, and it's ultimately gambling, because you're not investing based on the fundamentals and the financial health of said organizations or currencies. And people are just trying to invest to get a quick buck, and sooner or later that's just going to bite you in the butt. When it comes to actually investing so you can build wealth for a long time, you have to know that investing isn't as exciting as it would if you were to invest in Dogecoin. If anything, the greatest advantage one may have when it comes to investing is your time. So for the 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, all the young adults out there, if you put a small percentage of your paycheck into an index fund or a retirement account, you will become a millionaire by the age of 65, like no doubt. Just simply maxing out your Roth IRA, where you can contribute tax-free money, you will be in a much better position than most Americans who just don't save for retirement. This is because of compound interest, where your money can grow in the stock market, and the money that your money grows will also compound over the years. Now, investing also depends on your appetite for risk. I'm someone who doesn't love risk, so if I were to invest in something like cryptocurrency, I would keep it below 10% of my overall money portfolio. Being a good investor is not about all the shiny stuff and making 1,000% gain overnight. It's really just about consistency and just showing up. This leads me to my third lesson with money, which is to pay yourself first. Now, I know it's really easy to think that you get your paycheck and you have all this money to spend on your recreation. However, you do have, expenses. I'm not saying that you can't live a little and enjoy life, but ideally you should be saving a small amount of your income to invest into your future so you can eventually retire, maybe even before the age of 65. And it's much easier to start investing if it was just done automatically for you. And that's why this video is sponsored by no one, because I'm not that large yet. But this doesn't change the fact that if you were to automate your investing and just forget about it, have everything just work in the background for you, it'll definitely save you a lot of time and energy when it comes to trying to save money and get ready for retirement. You might think that to become a millionaire, you already need generational wealth, but that actually isn't the case. Almost 80% of millionaires are first generation. That means they came from nothing and they were still able to build some sort of a monetary empire. And they do this because of consistency and developing that financial discipline. If there is only one thing that you're going to take away from this video, it's that to be wealthy and successful, you have to put in consistency and effort. It's not about all the flashy stuff. It's really all about the small habits that lead to whatever goal that you're trying to reach. Most of the time when you're trying to hit a goal, stuff is not going to happen overnight. Like, if you want to have whiter teeth, if you want to improve your dental hygiene, you're not just going to brush your teeth once and think that you're there. You have to brush twice a day, every day, for years in order to maintain good dental health. Same goes for losing weight. If you want to lose 10 pounds, you're not going to just starve yourself completely for one day and think that you're there. You have to start reducing your calories slowly over time so that you can actually healthily lose weight. The same goes for building wealth, and I promise your 60, 50-year-old self will thank you for doing that. The fourth money lesson that I've learned is to avoid lifestyle inflation. You might think that once you get that raise or your promotion, you'd be able to spend more and eventually live a more luxurious lifestyle. And that is true in a way, but what if you were to take away your income? Would your investments be able to support the lifestyle that you're trying to bring? And if the answer is no, then maybe you should not be living that lifestyle. There's a saying that everyone probably knows by now. It's called keeping up with the Joneses, and that's where you have your neighbors around you just getting this newer car, a larger house, etc., etc., and you might feel the need to purchase all of those things just to match them. But in reality, you probably wouldn't have bought those things if it weren't for the Joneses. When it comes to building wealth and saving money, there are really only two ways you can do that. One is to keep your expenses low, and the second one is to raise your income. So while it's nice to continue getting those promotions, and I hope your salary does increase over the years, you still have to be mindful of how much cash goes out when it comes to expenses or whatever fun things that you want to do. If your lifestyle isn't sustainable with the amount of money that you actually make, then I would caution actually trying to inflate my lifestyle like that and wait until I'm at a position where my investments can actually pay for the lifestyle that I want. Number 5, money won't solve all your problems. Now, I do believe that money can buy happiness, and it will solve a lot of issues that money couldn't buy otherwise, like health insurance or healthcare, having a car, like a car instead of a Lambo. You have a Honda Civic. Like, of course, you need money to live on this earth, but it is not everything. After a certain threshold, your baseline level of happiness will return to normal. So you really do need to think, what in life you do want that will make you fulfilled and happy, because money itself isn't going to do that. I find myself running into this mind trap of, if only I had $200,000 a year, and then once I hit that, I would probably think 500,000. Not saying that I'm actually making $200,000 a year, because I wish. But the point is, after all of your physiological and basic needs are met, really to find actualization or whatever greater purpose or fulfillment that you want to find in life, money isn't going to do that for you. And you do need to find something that's worth spending time over, that isn't just trying to make more money. Of course, I'm a huge advocate for trying to make more money so you can get the financial freedom that you want and live life on your own terms. But while you're thinking of that, and while you're trying to build wealth, I think it's also important to think about the things that you do want to do. What if money didn't matter? How would you spend your hours? How would you spend your days? And I think a lot of people are just so caught up in the rat race that they don't really think about this stuff. And then your midlife crisis comes where you're 50 and you have the money, but you have no idea what you want, and you just feel empty inside. If you just want to prevent that midlife crisis from happening, I think it's a good idea to just start asking yourself questions now on like, what brings you fulfillment, what brings you meaning, what do you find important to you? So those were the 5 money lessons that I wish I knew at 18, and please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you guys liked this content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and definitely leave any other thoughts or concerns that you may have so I can make more content for you guys. Until next time, take it easy.